Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of the Before I Go podcast. Let me start out by saying congratulations, you made it to the end of 2020. Where to begin? I do not want to spend this time rehashing all of the awfulness that was 2020. It's been done to death. The year was trash, and now it is the time to leave it in our collective rearview mirrors. What I am interested in is how you were able to cope during the awfulness. I know we all have different coping mechanisms during times of crisis, and I am 100% certain that I tried all of them. In the beginning, for me, it was all about denial and disbelief. I was absolutely sure that coronavirus would last a few weeks and then we'd all be back to normal. In the meantime, I decided that I would hunker down and eat a bunch of comfort food and drink copious amounts of wine. It would be fun. Then weeks turned into months, and I realized that I had prepared and consumed one too many pans of macaroni and cheese and finished one too many bottles of wine all on my own. The gyms were closed, but I needed to get out of my house and away from my kitchen. Unfortunately, our BGR group runs were suspended and I was left to my own devices without structure. So I had to lace up my shoes and hit the pavement on my own. And I was able to average about 50 miles per month in 2020. In addition to running, I also started crocheting a lot more. I discovered an organization called Knots of Love. This organization accepts crocheted or knitted donations of beanies for chemotherapy patients or small blankets for babies in the NICU. I thought it was a great cause, and it allowed me to get out of my head and forget about the garbage that was 2020. So that was my MO for 2020. Stay busy, try new things, and do anything and everything to keep my mind occupied. Things like changing my hairstyle about half a dozen times and deciding to stop eating meat. For the better part of the year, though, I just felt like I was operating on autopilot. My church, like many others, was closed and was streaming services online. I missed church so much. I made an effort to stay engaged, but it was challenging. And I know that for so many, online services are awesome. And I definitely see the value, but I couldn't get into it. So when the doors opened again safely, I was excited. The year was hard, man, I'm not gonna lie. I realize now that I needed more support than I was ever able to ask for, which is probably why I was so excited when the doors of the church opened again. I always feel comfort in the presence of the Lord. That is real talk. It's always easier for me to enter into his presence when I'm surrounded by other believers. I'm able to enter his presence when I'm alone in my house, but it takes a little bit more effort, if that makes sense. One of the best things that came out of 2020 was the fact that I sought God like I never have before. And maybe that was the point of the entire year. Jesus tells us in Matthew 11:28, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." 2020 for me was the year of labor and being heavy laden. Every day was just hard. It was hard to wake up. It was hard to drive my car. It was hard to go to the office, a supermarket, wherever. Every day, I couldn't wait just to get back to my house, my happy place, so I could sit on my couch and watch bad television, crochet, drink wine, and chill. So over 12 months, instead of coming to Jesus for rest, I turned to food, alcohol, exercise, cooking, and crocheting. I was finally ready to do the thing that I should have done in the first place, though. I came to the Lord openly and honestly about how the year was affecting me, and He, true to His word, gave me rest. I stopped feeling stressed. I stopped trying to control a situation that I absolutely had no control over. I was at peace, which was always my goal for 2020 anyway. The pandemic allowed me to find peace. Imagine that. So, what is the plan for the new year? What will 2021 hold? I have no idea. I do know that I will make every effort to remember where my real help comes from. I will remember that when I need rest, all I have to do is look to my source. The pandemic is still here and in full force, and none of us knows what 2021 will even look like, but I do know that God is still God. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening. Before I go, let me share this with you from C.S. Lewis. There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind. I'll see you next time.